We will now move to the examination of the nomination Likon Khol Watsve Andet. Sorry, Cambodia, for the pronunciation. Draft decision 10A3 submitted by Cambodia. May I request Mr. Omare, please, to share with us the findings of the body on this nomination.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. The next file is Lihone Hall Words via Andet, submitted by Cambodia. Lihone Hall Words via Andet is practiced in one community surrounding a Buddhist monastery. Words via Andet and is performed by men wearing masks to the accompaniment of a traditional orchestra and melodious recitation. After generations of transmission, however, several factors now threaten the viability of the element, including environmental, insufficient resources, economic migration from the community, and a 14-year break in transmission from 1970 to 1984 due to the war and Khmer Rouge regime. From the information included in the file, the nomination satisfies criteria U1, U2, U4, and U5 for inscription on the list of intangible cultural heritage in need of urgent safeguarding. Lihone Hall Words via Andet is a prayer for happiness and prosperity, especially rain and a good harvest, and is also considered as a powerful tool to ward off calamities and diseases. The ritual practice of Lihone Hall Words via Andet unites the local lay population of the Taxco and Pim Ta Ek villages with the Buddhist monastic community at Words via Andet, where it has a deep spiritual meaning and social relevance. Although the last 5 masters of the Lihone Hall continue transmitting their knowledge, however, the majority of them are over 70 years old and some are critically ill. The Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts established a working group to cooperate with the local community during the preparation of the nomination file. However, the evaluation body considered that the information is not sufficient to assess criteria U3. While the body took into consideration that the safeguarding strategy presented does not seem to require large financial inputs, a clearly defined budget supporting its implementation is completely missing. Therefore, the evaluation body recommends that the committee refers Lihone Hall Words via Andet to the submitting state. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Omare, for this detailed explanation of the different issues raised during the evaluation of this file. May I, at this juncture, request for your indulgence on one issue. We are going to consider a number of inscriptions, and hopefully many of them is going to be approved. And it is a practice that to congratulate the state member whenever an inscription is successfully completed, for the sake of convenience and also to due respect to the speakers who may be intervening for the next inscription, I'll request that whenever we wish to congratulate, and I wish also that we do it in a way that is not going to disturb the working of this committee. We have got sufficient space on both sides of this hall. If we could just move on either side so that we can continue our workings in a more serene manner. Thank you very much for your cooperation on that score. And with this few words, let us now move to consider the present application, where the Bureau received a request for amendment. The floor is now open to committee members for comments on that score. I see Philippines wishes to intervene at this juncture.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We requested that this file be open for discussion because the element clone call, we believe that it should be not be referred back to the state party when the missing information has been duly provided by Cambodia to the committee members. This emphasizes the need for a dialogue between nominating state parties and the evaluation body in such instances when just a little bit of clarification or additional information can complete the picture needed by the evaluation body to finalize its recommendation. For it is apparent in the nomination dossier and the report of the evaluation body that the element merits urgent safeguarding and that the measures proposed are very clear and thorough. The element is highly important as a practice of the Buddhist monastery community, as a source of spiritual meaning and social relevance. Thus, we would request that the state party be given the floor, Mr. Chair, to provide further information on the budget of the safeguarding plan. We have submitted, together with a number of committee members, amendments to the draft decision. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Philippine. Before giving the floor to the member state, I'll request other state committee members who wish to take the floor to intervene, and at the end we are going to give the floor to the state who makes the application. I have on my list Palestine, China, Poland, Senegal, and a few others, but we are Zambia, Kazakhstan, and Azerbaijan. Let us start with Kuwait also, I understand, Palestine, and then we are going to continue with the list. Palestine, please.
شكرا سيد الرئيس، وأرى أن هناك العديد من الزملاء الذين طلبوا الكلام، ولذلك سأحاول أن أكون مقتضبا. أولا أنا أشارك الرأي في كل ما جاء في مداخلة وفد الفلبين. بعد ذلك أود أن أوجه الشكر للهيئة التقييمية لما قامت به من عمل بخصوص هذا العنصر الهام لكوهون كوهول، وأنا آسف أيضا لهذا الاسم الصعب في الذكر فاعذروني. إن الهيئة التقييمية رأت أن هذا الملف بجميع نقاطه محكم وجيد جدا، وحتى المعيار الثالث إذا نقرأ ما جاء في التقييم نرى أن خطة الحفاظ وهيكلية خطة الحفاظ على العنصر واضحة ومتينة البنية، وتبين دور الجماعات المعنية في هذه الخطة. وكذلك اعتبرت الهيئة التقييمية أن التكلفة المالية لهذه الخطة ليس باهظة، ولكن لا يوجد ميزانية تفصيلية واضحة. هذه هي النقطة الوحيدة التي جاءت سلبية في التقييم. لذا أود سيد الرئيس أن أطرح سؤالا بهذا الخصوص على الدولة الطرف. Et là, je vais poser la question en français pour que ça soit clair. Pour le U3, la remarque, le point négatif, c'était simplement l'absence d'un budget détaillé. Est-ce que l'État partie peut nous donner un peu de clarification là-dessus? Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Merci, Palestine. Alors, avant de passer la parole à la Chine, je voudrais répéter que nous avons la Chine, Pologne, Sénégal, Zambie, Kazakhstan, Azerbaïdjan, le Koweït, le Liban, Japon, Arménie et la Colombie qui voudraient intervenir. And now it's my pleasure to give the floor to China.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My delegation would first thank the evaluation body for its efforts on the evaluation of this nomination. According to the draft decision, the the information included in this file is not sufficient to satisfy the criterion U3. Well, when we look through the nomination files, we noticed that in section 3B, which is regarding to the proposed safeguarding plan, we found it is stated for several times that resources come from both within the community and the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts and other partners are playing a supportive role in ways of providing both financial and in-kind support. And we also can trace that available resources for the implementation of the safeguarding plan can come from the commitment of different stakeholders. So given this context, we would like to request the submitting state for some clarification on this point. Thank you.
Thank you very much, China. May I now give the floor to Poland?
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Poland wishes to agree with the amendments proposed by the State Party of Philippines by stressing that the purpose of the urgent list is to prevent the element from the upcoming threats and eventual extinction. As the Cambodian nomination file pointed out, the element is threatened by aging and of the bearers, and the consequences thus are connected to it. In this point, the element needs to be inscribed on an urgent basis due to the safeguarding measures. Otherwise, leaving the element without international assistance will be against the spirit and objectives of the Convention. Hopefully, the clarification of the State Party will complete the nomination file and then will enable the committee to decide in favor of the inscription of the Cambodian element on the list of intangible cultural heritage in need of urgent safeguarding. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Le Sénégal, s'il vous plaît.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Je voudrais remercier l'organe d'évaluation pour son travail extrêmement important et féliciter également l'État soumissionnaire pour ce dossier très important lié au rituel, lié au bouddhisme qui se traduit à travers un spectacle riche en couleurs et avec une diversité d'expressions culturelles liées au rite agraire, notamment le cycle de la culture de riz. Le seul point qui a été souligné par l'organe d'évaluation, c'est le budget. Nous souhaitons donc qu'on donne l'occasion aux pays soumissionnaires de fournir des informations sur le budget. Merci.
Merci beaucoup, Sénégal. La Zambie? Zambia, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. As the Zambian delegation, I'd like to support the amendment by Philippines to support Cambodia's application to the urgent list. As noted already, there are a number of things that they've cited in terms of the threat to the element, in terms of migration, environment, and the economy situation. And when we look at criteria 3, which deals also with the community, somehow they've mentioned a number of things, and in their rebuttal, they've managed to satisfy the criteria as the Zambian delegation is concerned. So we submit that we support Philippines' amendment for the element to be inscribed in the urgent list. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. May I give the floor to Kazakhstan?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to support the Philippines amendment proposal. Spiritual nature of Riamkar theatric performance and its geographic concentration into villages near Wat Svai Undead Monastery put survival of the element in hands of community. And it is the community's wish, as the nomination states, to focus on intangible and creative safeguarding measures like networking, training, and fundraising. Budget allocated via National Living Human Treasures Program, regular financial allowances for local monks, and hiring a focal point seem to satisfy communities' requirements for municipal support. Requesting member states to draw big funding projects and programs might lead to standardization of nominations. In this regard, we find Cambodian nomination distinctively interesting and setting a good example of community spirit, enthusiastic approach, and the role of elder population in safeguarding the element. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Azerbaijan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our delegation has carefully studied the file from Cambodia that we would like to commend for the nomination on this vibrant and diverse element, whose practice is continued and maintained primarily by rural practitioners who perform for the value and well-being this element brings to the community. When it comes to the criterion U.3, we noted with great appreciation the description of the past and current safeguarding measures under section 3.a, which showed balanced approach from both the concerned community and the national authorities toward the safeguarding of this element, threatened by a number of external and internal factors. With regard to the second part of this criterion, section 3.b, and the issue of a missing budget for the safeguarding plan as raised by the evaluation body, we note that the nomination does speak about, I am telling about quote from the Ministry of Culture of Cambodia, Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts and other partners providing financial and structural support to strengthen the efforts of the community. Finally, we also note that the instructions in the nomination form under the section mention the possibility of in-kind community inputs, which seems to be the case of this particular nomination to a larger extent, is met, even if a clear budget estimate has not been provided. We find in numerous instances clear commitment from the state to provide, secure, or use existing mechanisms to provide financial resources. Thank you.
Thank you, Azerbaijan. Can we now have Kuwait to share with us their comment?
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Also, Kuwait would like to thank the evaluation body for the great job they're doing on these files. And also, we would like to congratulate the state party for a great file that's been submitted. And clearly, this file shows the involvement of the community in both ways, in the administration of this file and this listing, and also from the financial throughout the incoming years. We know that the budget has been submitted, except missing some detailed budget in section 3B, and we are waiting for the state party to clarify that minor point, we think. So we are in favor of inscribing this file, and we would like to also thank Philippines for opening the discussion for this file. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Lebanon, please.
شكرا سيد الرئيس. بما أن كل ما أريد أن أقوله قد ذكره الزملاء، سأكتفي بتأييد موقف الفلبين ودعم التعديلات وشكر هيئة التقييم على ما قامت به. Thank you.
Lebanon. May I invite Japan, please?
Well, thank you very much, Chair. First, I'd like to appreciate the effort by evaluation body. And as for this element, we highly recognize and appreciate the value of the Buddhist culture, which we have, of course, a very strong sympathy. And we have studied the nomination, and the file has been very well prepared in general, except for the part of the budget. So, if the nominating country can provide good information about the budget, I believe that there's no reason that we will not inscribe this one. So in that case, we'll support the amendment by the Philippines. Thank you.
Thank you, Japan. May I request Armenia, please?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I see a lot of speakers, so I will be rather short. We are also commenting distinguished delegation of Cambodia for the nomination, and we would like to support the request on behalf of the Philippines to ask the member state to duly provide the clarification and to include the element for further consideration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Colombia, please.
Gracias, presidente. Colombia quiere reconocer y felicitar a Camboya por su expediente y sobre todo porque trabajaron de mano con las comunidades. Es un expediente de muy alta calidad técnica y en ese sentido queremos apoyar la enmienda propuesta por Filipinas y dar lugar a Camboya para que simplemente nos aclare un poco el tema del presupuesto, pero consideramos que es fundamental la inscripción de esta manifestación en la lista. Gracias.
Thank you very much. The last one on my list is Cuba.
Gracias, señor presidente. Nuestra delegación también desea sumarse a lo manifestado por las delegaciones que nos han precedido y deseamos agradecer a Filipinas por las enmiendas presentadas y también nos sumamos al apoyo de estas enmiendas. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much for all members who wish to intervene. I notice Guatemala also wishes to say a few words. Guatemala, please.
Sí, muchas gracias, señor presidente. También como Guatemala creemos que Camboya ha presentado un buen expediente y bueno, serán cosas muy, digamos, no de fondo lo que falta aclarar. Apoyamos la enmienda presentada por Filipinas y también como país apoyamos a Camboya para que se le dé la oportunidad de inscribir a la lista de salvaguardia urgente. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Cyprus, please.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. C'était aussi pour dire qu'on est d'avis qu'on donne la parole à la délégation de Cambodge. Simplement, je voulais faire une proposition, si tous les membres sont d'accord. Quand on est d'accord qu'on puisse donner la parole à l'État pour qu'il s'explique un point, est-ce qu'on peut ne pas prendre la parole tous les États et simplement d'indiquer le nom de chaque pays qu'il est d'accord pour ne pas perdre du temps? Merci.
Yes, thank you. We take good note of the suggestion of Cyprus. May I now invite Cambodia? Le Cambodge, s'il vous plaît.
Monsieur le Président, distingués membres du comité, avant de donner la parole à mon collègue qui va répondre aux membres du comité, et comme c'est la première fois que le Cambodge prend la parole, au nom du gouvernement du Royal du Cambodge, je tiens d'abord à remercier le gouvernement de Maurice d'accueillir et d'organiser le comité intergouvernemental dans un si beau pays avec une diversité culturelle très riche. Je voudrais également transmettre mes plus vifs remerciements au secrétariat de l'UNESCO pour le travail qu'ils ont accompli afin de nous fournir tous les très bons documents de travail. Et je souhaite remercier aussi les membres du comité pour leur incessant travail afin d'améliorer à chaque session la mise en œuvre de notre convention. And now I give the floor to my colleague to answer the question of the committee.
Thank you, Madam Minister. Mr. Chair, committee members, we appreciate the assessment of the evaluation body, which expressed a positive opinion on all criteria except one, the criterion U3. This was due to a technical misinterpretation. Mr. Chair, committee members, we wish to clarify and assure the committee members that the 5-year safeguarding plan 2018-2022 in the nomination file was articulated on the basis of the firm budget commitments from all stakeholders, government, communities, and partners in relation to their respective activities, and that budget can come out after when the activity is executed annually. It was on this basis of understanding, Mr. Chair, committee's members, that a clear defined budget was missing in our nomination file. With this regard, we have prepared an ad memo with a clear budget breakdown to clarify to the committee's members. We are also pleased to inform the committee member that those commitments that been said, since the submissions of our nomination file, 2 of items identified as urgent need, namely the performance stage, a set of costumes, have already been provided thanks to the initiatives taken by the local community, together with financial support by the Ministry of Cultures and Fine Arts, totaling more than $75,000, as a testimony of strong motivation by the communities and all stakeholders to continuing the reinvigoration of this treasured form. In conclusion, Cambodia wishes to assure the committee that we will be fully engaged, committed to provide all necessary means, financial, human, material, in order to safeguard the Khon Khao of Wat Svai and Diet for generations to come. With this clarification and expression of our commitments, Mr. Chair, esteemed committee members, we thank you for giving us the floor.
Thank you, Cambodia. I believe you are now ready to move to the adoption of the decision, paragraph by paragraph. Can we have the draft decision on the screen, please? Paragraph 1. No objection, adopted. Paragraph 2. No objection, adopted. Paragraph 3. Amendment from Philippines. From, yes, Palestine.
شكرا سيد الرئيس. وفد فلسطين يود الدعم والانضمام للتعديلات المقدمة من وفد الفلبين لجميع الفقرات كي نتفادى ضياع الوقت. شكرا سيد الرئيس.
Yes. Yes, I agree that we have found broad support to the various amendments. And I see Cyprus and Kuwait wishing to intervene as well as Azerbaijan.
This is support.
Oh, you are giving support, yes.
Support to show.
Japan is supporting Cyprus, Senegal, Djibouti, Zambia, Kazakhstan, Togo, China, Colombia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Lebanon, Kuwait, Guatemala, Poland, Jamaica, Cuba,
China, you said. Have I missed it? Zambia.
Zambia. If any one of the states doesn't hear the name, please.
Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka. There is wide support, and therefore, can we move to adopt the document as a whole? Kuwait also is on the list. I therefore declare decision 13 come 10A 10A free, adopted with amendment proposed by Philippines and supported by other members. Adopted. Congratulations, Cambodia. You have now the floor.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Aujourd'hui, c'est pour le Cambodge et spécialement la communauté de Wat Svai Andait un moment de joie et de fierté de voir ce 5e élément de notre patrimoine culturel et matériel inscrit sur cette liste prestigieuse. Au nom du gouvernement royal du Cambodge et au nom des communautés concernées, le Cambodge remercie le comité d'avoir accepté d'inclure le Khon Khao Wat Svai Andait. Cette inscription est un encouragement supplémentaire pour le développement de cette forme d'expression culturelle cambodgienne. Le Cambodge est conscient qu'il lui incombe d'accompagner la communauté dans la mise en œuvre du plan de sauvegarde. De nombreuses activités sont déjà en cours. Elle considère cet élément comme un reflet de leur identité culturelle. Je puis vous assurer, Monsieur le Président et les membres du comité, que cette inscription créera une synergie positive entre les communautés et les autres parties prenantes, ce qui soutiendrait considérablement les efforts de sauvegarde et assurer la viabilité de l'élément. Pour finir, Le Cambodge considère que cette session constitue une étape majeure dans la contribution du patrimoine culturel immatériel à la tâche essentielle de préservation de la diversité culturelle. Et je vous remercie à nouveau, Monsieur le Président, et les membres du comité. Merci.
Et merci beaucoup, le Cambodge, et bravo encore une fois. Est-ce que je peux demander au Cambodge, s'il vous plaît, pour ne pas trop gêner le travail, de se mettre soit à gauche, soit à droite, s'il vous plaît, le Cambodge. Bougez, s'il vous plaît, au fond de la salle ou à gauche, s'il vous plaît, le Cambodge. S'il vous plaît, le Cambodge, je vous demanderai de bouger soit à gauche, soit à droite, pour qu'on puisse continuer notre session dans des meilleures conditions. Merci beaucoup.